Hey, what is going on, everyone? Scartifist here. This video is going to be a bit of a tactical analysis on patch 0.222. When I say tactical, I mainly mean how the hell do you beat these enemy AI vehicle stacks on very hard difficulty? Because I don't know if the same problems on very hard difficulty are as apparent and broken as other difficulties. And mainly, the biggest problem being enemy AI vehicle aimbot. Like whew, you can put in any combination of units, guys, and you will pretty much lose to an army that has above 20 mortars or armored cars. You want to know why? Because they're going to hit every single shot, while your vehicles, if you match them, going to miss all their shots. And the thing is, your vehicles, when you're putting out that many tanks, like 14, 15 tanks to respond to their, vehicles, you're going to not be able to constantly move them. They're going to be sitting ducks. The enemy can already hit really good. Imagine being a sitting duck and not being able to return fire, while the enemy is driving circles around you, firing 64 millimeter shots into the air and then managing to hit you. It's not going to be pretty. I'm just going to say that. You're going to be in for a tough time. So this is going to be a constant problem in later stages of the game, especially if you allow the enemy to amass a huge army of vehicles. And the thing is, you kind of can't really prevent that, because if you try to bum rush them before day 4 in the game, or before you basically declare war on anyone, and you're just you're going to lose all your vehicles and you're going to be even further behind. So you're almost forced into kind of just like biding your time, building up your forces while letting the enemy do the same. Right? It's a no-win situation. There is, however, a strategy that I have found to be somewhat, and I use that term very, very loosely, effective in dealing with just the enemy AI vehicle. And this is basically you're going to throw everything you have at them, but but in a more controlled way. And what I mean by this is you're going to you're going to store all of your important items except 2 gasoline tanks or 1 gasoline tank, depending on how close the enemy AI stack is, and you're going to garrison all your troops into a city. Then what you're going to do is you make sure you have enough money, right? And you need like 1 million credits, so you're going to have to use the casino to execute this strategy. Then what you're going to do, you're going to send all your vehicles in, max out 64 vehicles into a fight against a vehicle stack. And then you're going to lose that fight. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but you're going to take down as many as you can in that fight. And then you're going to have to lose the battle. You might take down 5, you might take down 10, but nonetheless, you took down some without losing too much. You'll probably lose about 100 or so thousand credits, give or take, plus or minus, but it's just an inevitability. You will lose the gasoline, I'm pretty sure, but you won't lose all of it, or you won't lose as much as you would have if your inventory was fully stacked. Same thing with your troops. You do not want them to be injured or dead, so you got to get them out of the fight. That's pretty much the only thing that I've seen be even effective in chipping away at the enemy AI without incurring massive losses that just take forever to replenish, right? You guys know how much medkits it takes when you have gold star Poznas late game. It takes 3 or 4, right, before they're even functional at half health. That's you're basically going to run the entire game dry before you can get your whole squad replenished. That's 27 medkits a squad if they're all injured. 1 squad of 9. 27 medkits minimum. Like, the game doesn't even have like 27 medkits all at once. They have more, obviously, but that's not a good way to win the game, especially if you're at war. Because if you're at war, there are some cities you can't access. You don't want to pay 500 credits to go access it. Now, fuck that, right? It's a tough situation. Now, I have looked into multiple ways. I've even tried equipping bazookas onto companions, Poznas. Let's just put it like this. They're not hitting shit. Even though the Poznas accuracy is super high, giving them bazookas is kind of just like, it's a gimmick that's not working. Now, I know the game has AT specialists. They are garbage and need to be reworked big time, or just removed, or another counter to tanks and vehicles needs to be implemented. They need to add armor-piercing weapons or machine guns or whatever the hell they decide, which they will be, I'm confident. It needs to be added because your AT specialists are the worst sniper unit, and I say this very loosely because there's only one sniper unit, but they're garbage. Like, their rifle, I've tried using that. It's so bad. You're better off using your marksmanship Poznas rifle and just spamming the shit out of that to kill a vehicle. Like, there's absolutely no reason to use them, unless of course it is to garrison a city and just sacrifice them off in hopes that the AI uses them better than you can, or they can somehow land shots. In episode 46 and 47, which have been released or are going to be released, depending on when I upload this, I actually make use of these. I begin to make use of them in the sense that I actually garrison some of them into a city, because I know for a fact that AT specialists are useless. We found this out in episode 2 of this season. They were garbage. We had them fully maxed and they couldn't land a single shot. They couldn't throw water into the ocean, guys. That's how bad they are. But yeah, they're probably only useful for deploying into cities. And this brings the second part of the strategy that I have found to be effective. What you want to do is, and I learned this the fucking hard way in episode 46, what you want to do in order to thin out these stacks is, you cannot take them head on unless you're doing that suicidal, throw everything at them, and you don't always want to do that, right? You can't take them head on. So what you do is you take all the prisoners that you've accumulated over time. I'm pretty sure you have, or at least you should have, and then you just throw them into the city. Not too much to dissuade an enemy from attacking, but enough so that they'll be able to take down some of the enemy forces, right? And you just keep doing this over and over and over again until hopefully the enemy is thinned out to the point where you can take on their vehicles and win the second or first time, right? Now, this means that you're going to have to allow the enemy to take your city, and that's pretty much a given. Like, if the enemy comes at me with 189, I ain't winning that fight. Like, if it was 189 soldiers only, I would win. But the fact that half of them are vehicles means that I've just lost, right? The vehicles are still going to be a problem, but you need to thin out the regular troops of the opposing army. That's the only way you stand a chance. And guess what? You can make use of your prisoners that way. So all the looters, the bandits, well, I shouldn't say looters because you execute them to convince people to join you, but all the bandits, the Uman, the whatever you have, the armor marauders, just get them recruited, toss them in a city, hope they're useful, and yeah, maybe you'll win this campaign. I have yet to fully execute the strategy. Like, I'm still in the process of seeing if it's working. Like, I'm still testing quite a few things out. Also, something else you guys want to be aware of. There is a bug on this patch. If you put 0 troops in a garrison, you let the enemy take it, and you retake it, sometimes you will lose troops, even though it says you haven't. I learned this the very hard way with my Poznas that were maxed out in gear, and I don't even want to talk about it. Don't even want to talk about it. You'll see in the episode, guys. It's fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. But yeah, this is probably my thoughts on how you win in this patch on very hard difficulty. But if you have somehow found a way to beat this ridiculously broken AI, please put it in the comments below so that other players who are playing on this patch and are on similar difficulty don't have to struggle as much as I did, or just a solution for them so we can all discuss and figure this out. Granted, if I were you guys and this wasn't a priority to like beat the game on this patch, I would wait till the next one when shit's more balanced, right? I would not continue playing this patch as a personal recommendation, at least on very hard difficulty. I would definitely not do it because you're just going to hit your head over and over again trying to break through the brick wall that is the enemy AI vehicle aim. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.